What's up guys, Sal here. So the OnePlus 6T launch is probably not too far off, assuming OnePlus continues to follow its half-yearly release schedule. It could launch in November, as that's when the OnePlus 5T arrived last year and the OnePlus 3T in 2016. That said, you can usually get a good idea of what the OnePlus's next phone will look like by keeping tabs on Chinese smartphone maker Oppo. Oppo and OnePlus are owned by the same people. They also perhaps have some sort of connection in their manufacturing lines and their part suppliers. And they might also have a few of the same industrial designers. And based on what we have seen over the past few years, it looks pretty reasonable to believe that whatever the Oppo R smartphone line does, the OnePlus's main smartphone is going to do next. The OnePlus 6 took over 90% of its design cues from the Oppo R15, and the R11s was basically the OnePlus 5T. Now, Oppo launched the R17 with this tiny little notch, slim bezels and an in-display fingerprint sensor, and if you're a fan of OnePlus, then there's no reason for you to not to be excited. Most of the screen notches we've seen thus far are rather hard to ignore. They take up a significant chunk of the screen, and some make the status bar unnecessarily tall. Even the OnePlus 6, which does the notch surprisingly well among Android phones, eats into your screen real estate. The R17 has a small dip in the bezel that makes more room for the front-facing camera. It's really quite subtle, with very gradual inclines on its left and on its right. I'm no fan of the notch, but I gotta admit, this is the best implementation of the notch that we've seen on Android devices so far. The bezel looks symmetrical around the top and sides, but the bottom is still a bit larger. It has about the same chin as the OnePlus 6. The Oppo R17 also has an in-display fingerprint scanner, but I highly doubt OnePlus is gonna go for it. I mean, OnePlus has built a cult following on making strategic commissions, which yes are important to some, but right now the OnePlus device is around 40% cheaper than the average flagships. The in-display fingerprint scanner is still a premium feature that will likely cost a lot to implement, so it's very unlikely for the 6T to have it. But it's more than likely that it will have wireless charging this time. So with that being said, there are lots of reasons to believe that the Oppo R17 design will bleed over into the OnePlus 6T. It's just a question of to what degree. And thankfully, we won't have to wait much longer to find out, as it's expected to be announced later this year.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay.